Hey everybody, Mr. Troy here. It's time for Mr. Troy Explains Your Homework, a video series where I do some of your homework problems for you. This one doesn't have a theme song. Okay, so I think this is problem 8. And you're just supposed to do some long division. And there are two things that make this tricky. So the first is just how it's written. Okay, we need to first write it out as long division. And then, since we're missing all of these terms, we don't have the x cubed, we don't have the x squared, we don't have the x, we're going to write it out with a whole bunch of spaces, like this. Okay? So what you want to do, and you might get to a point where you don't need to do this, but it really helps you stay organized and really makes it clear what you're doing where. Okay? So if the next minute or so is easy for you and you want to fast forward, I understand, because once you see this, the next couple of minutes are pretty self-explanatory. So this will kind of help us know what we need to set up under. That's the world's worst 3. Has anyone ever made a worst 3? I don't think so. And what you're going to have to get used to is just remembering when you're subtracting a positive, when you're subtracting a negative. Remember, you're trying to match the sign here. Now, when I make a mistake, it's just when I'm not paying enough attention to like the coefficient or the sign, or I maybe make a little subtraction error. It's okay. These problems don't take that long, so you'll be fine. Just try to be careful. Okay, so the last time I did this problem, I forgot to drop down this -2. Don't know why. So just try and be careful, try and learn from your mistakes. And this is going to be a -1/2 to get -1x. And then I'm also going to get -1/2. I'm taking a negative and I'm subtracting a negative, so we've got to be careful. This is going to give me -3/2. Okay, so the way that I'm going to write my answer, I'm going to note that my remainder is -3/2 for the factor theorem and the remainder theorem. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write out my quotient, 4x cubed minus 2x squared plus x minus 1/2. And then I'm going to write out plus the remainder over the divisor. Now, I always write a plus sign here, whether there's a positive or a negative remainder. If you wanted to write -3/2, that would be totally fine as well. Okay? But we don't want to leave a fraction inside of a fraction. That's called a complex fraction. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to write it like this. 4x cubed. My dog just walked into the room. She wants me to play with her bone with her. I can't, Ginny. I got to do math homework. Oh, don't give me that look. She really is. She's giving me a look. So we're going to write it like this. And that is your best answer. If you wanted to change this right here to be minus plus, that would be totally equivalent, and that's fine. You can do that if you like. Okay, next problem. There are two ways to approach this. One is to divide by x minus 1 3 times. The other one is to actually multiply that out. So x minus 1 cubed is x minus 1 times x squared minus 2x plus 1, right? Because that's x minus 1 squared. So we get x cubed, and some of you may know that there's a trick to this. You'll learn that next year in Honors Pre-Calc, so I won't spoil it for you. So how many x squareds do I get? Negative 1x squared here, negative 2x squared there, so minus 3x squareds. For x's, I have 1x here and 2x's there, so plus 3x, and minus 1. So I can now do this exactly like that same problem before. My dog's just pacing in the hallway like she wants someone to pay attention to her. Now, is this the only way to do this? No, of course not. There are many ways to do these types of problems. Okay, so I would need to multiply by 5x. And that would give me 5x to the 4th minus 15x cubed plus 15x squared minus 5x, which is going to give me 15x cubed minus 15x squared plus 5x. And then this is going to go in 15 times. So that's going to give me, I don't know, 15x cubed minus 45x squared plus 45x minus 15. This is a really good time to know your multiplication facts. So 30x squared minus 40x plus 15. So our quotient is 5x plus 15 plus our remainder, 30x squared minus 40x plus 15 over, and if this doesn't simplify at all, why don't we just write this as x minus 1 cubed? Okay, are there other ways of doing this? Of course there are, but that's okay.